Hi everyone, Mr. Bristow here and welcome to Ezra update number 4. I hope this video finds you safe and well. What a lovely week I've had this week. It was so good to speak to so many of you on Tuesday. It really brightened up my day. I'll be doing the same again this week regarding phone calls. However, it will be on Wednesday morning. I will try and get hold of you. So hopefully you'll be available for a catch up then. This week, so a bit of a different week with VE celebrations that we had on Friday. It was a bank holiday, a little bit different in that we couldn't possibly celebrate in ways that we would have done. But still, a lovely, beautiful, glorious day, and hopefully you had a wonderful time celebrating it with your families. I haven't had many photos of how you've celebrated it, apart from this one from Verity. And as you can see, she's dressed up and they've decorated the house. And I went for a walk around Winchester as part of my daily exercise on Friday. And there was some lovely house displays. So if you did anything to celebrate, make sure you send those in to the email address next week. It would be great to share them. Anyway, on with this week's update. And first of all, we will start off with Times Table Rock Stars. Much better week on Times Table Rock Stars for Ezra class. As you can see, we managed to stop the ascendancy of Barlow and beat them in our class battle. However, we are still ever so slightly only 900 behind Sunday. I know next week we can rally and hopefully try and push for that top spot. Big shout out to our top 3 in our class, who were Mia, Jasmine and Sophia. Well done to you 3. Also great to see 15 of us taking part, which was the most out of the 3 classes, I believe. So if we keep going, then I know that we can end up top of the pile next week. Boys versus girls battle. Still not great news for us boys, unfortunately. As you can see, a landslide victory for the ladies. However, I'd like to do a special shout out to Harvey, who was first for the boys. And also we had more boys than the other 2 classes take part. So there's lots of positives. We just need to maybe give it an extra 5% effort and really focus and see if we can take the win this week. Okay, now to share the different things that you've been up to this week. But before we do, I just thought I'd tell you what I've been up to. Again, lots of walks now that the weather's better. My day in school this week was Tuesday, and I was in with Mr. Gunner and 13 children, and we had a really lovely day utilising the sunshine, playing on the mugger, and they got to do some artwork with Mrs. Rosenfeld in the morning, which was really lovely to see, all involving nature. Next week, as I've already said, I'm in school on Tuesday with some children and Wednesday morning is when I will be making my call, so I look forward to speaking to more of you then. So I've heard this week from Lena, and Lena first of all sent me an email showing me her cooking prowess and that she has been making breakfast smoothies, as you can see here. Lena has also been busy making posters for a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock for clapping the NHS heroes, and that can be seen here. Next I heard from Olivia, and it was when I spoke to Olivia on the phone on Tuesday. She told me that she'd been learning tricks with her dog Woody, and I said that I just had to see. So she has very kindly sent me a video, and here it is for you all to see.
Hi, I'm going to do some tricks on my dog. Woody! Turn up! Woody! Turn up! Good doggy! Next, he's gonna play dead. Ready? Stick him up! Bang! Woody, next you're gonna follow me. Follow. You can dance it. Not the best dance. Ready? What can you do? Oh yeah, you can walk. Come on, turn around, Woody. Woody, follow the tree. Sit. Woody. Good dog. That's okay. Now, can you creep? Let's go get the biscuits. Go and get the sausage. Come on. Creep down. Down. Come on, creep. On the floor. Good dog. That's good.
Pretty amazing. I'm sure the two of them will be on Britain's Got Talent in no time. She's also been doing Miss Airy and Mrs. Pratt's Sunflower Challenge. And I know it looks super small to start off with here, but I'm sure it will grow to be big and hopefully manage to take the prize. If you wanted to take part in the Sunflower Challenge, I will link their video here. It's also found in the Year 5 playlist, as well as all the other playlists, if you wanted to have a go yourselves. I then heard from Antec, and Antec has been super busy again this week with a scavenger hunt, where he went round the woods with his family and had a list of loads and loads of things to find. He told me that he couldn't find a 4-leaf clover, and I do believe they're quite rare. I think it's the more leaves, the rarer it is, which he was a little bit disappointed about. But then the next day, when he went out for some exercise, he managed to find one. So that's some really, really good luck there. He's also been doing potato maps, which sounds really, really cool. And I can't wait to catch up with him when we're back, all about that. But here's a picture of what he was doing. The next person I heard from was Kenzie, and Kenzie has been getting up to lots and lots of scout challenges, and it was great to talk to him on Tuesday to find out that he'd started his own mini rock band, and you can see him playing his instrument now. Quite amazing what you can do with some pots and pans. It was great to speak to you all on Tuesday. However, I've only had a handful of emails this week. So unfortunately, this video is not going to be super long. I've said I'm not going to do any magic tricks until I've heard from 16, but I also sat there really wanting to know what you guys are getting up to. So please, anything you do, just snap a quick picture and send it to me. The email address again is ezra@stokeparkjunior.co.uk. Now on to the wonderful work that some of you have been getting up to this week. Let's start off with some science. Now, I've had 3 children doing very different things in science, which is really, really cool to see. First of all, had Verity, who planned an experiment to do, and she told me that she's going to send in the pictures of the results afterwards. But here is the plan that she did. Can't wait to see those results. Next, I heard from Antec, and Antec was doing some things surrounding electricity and circuits, and he sent me a picture of that. I've also heard from Lena, and Lena has finished her poster about Marie Curie, and you can see that here, along with her stood with it very proudly. After science, I heard from some of you who have done a pot, your design for your pot, and I have 2, one from Antec, who's even managed to find some clay to make it, and one from Olivia. Now, the busiest we've been this week seems to be on Purple Mash, and I've had lots and lots of things submitted, and I will make sure that you can all see your feedback on Monday. First of all, I've had St George's Day colouring, which was sort of design a dragon and a knight, and I've had that from Maisie, Sophia, Naomi, Lena and Eloise, so well done to all of you. And I'll put a compilation on the side here. Next, you were tasked with doing some research into Greek clothing, and I've had submissions for that from Naomi, Lena, Verity and Max. And here is a compilation of the work that all of those children have done. Good job to all of you. Next, I had submissions from Aaron and Max on 2 different subjects on the Greek food and Greek housing. And there's those 2 children's work there. And finally, I think it was the big task set for this week, is the Greek gods. So I've had research and a poster from Olivia, Aaron, Verity, Max and Louise. And here's a compilation of all of your ideas. Great job. So I've also had 1 more submission for the game this week, and that was from Olivia. So I'm not going to detract from it anymore. I'm just going to read it out, and you'll see that she found a really cool picture online that I think helps describe the scene really, really well. The monster game. Jude and Amy were bored. It was raining for the 4th time this week. They'd got so sick of all the things they'd been doing for the last few weeks. They decided they would go through each room in the house and spend a day in there. First, the kitchen. They spent the day teaching the dog Woody tricks. Then the living room, where they watched films. They skipped the utility room and the bedrooms and spent some time in the games room playing games. Today, they had no other rooms to explore. Then Jude had an amazing idea. "Why don't we spend today in the attic?" he asked Amy. "We can't. You know I'm scared of spiders," Amy replied. "Fine, scaredy cat," said her big brother, who liked to call her names. "I will be right behind you," she said, not liking his answer. They made their way up the dusty staircase to the damp attic. Jude turned on his torch. He saw piles and piles of dust, bags, furniture, boxes and tools. Amy was looking at the ceiling, where all the sticky cobwebs hung. Jude rushed forwards to look at the old stuff on it. Amy, on the other hand, walked slowly. Then Jude asked loudly, "Let's play a game of hide and seek." Amy, shaken up by this, replied, "Okay, you count, I hide." She went past box after box until she came across a small box. She picked it up and opened it. Inside was an old game. She blew off the dust that had gathered and shouted for Jude. He said the whole point of... But he spotted the game in his sister's hands. Its cover had a picture of a dragon, centaur, and a monster with 1,000,000 eyes. "Let's play it," Jude said with excitement. "Okay," replied Amy. They opened the game. They grabbed the instructions, and although they could clearly see the name of the game, the instructions were smudged. The Monster Game. It read in bright red letters. "Let's make it up as we go," said Jude. "I'm going first." He rolled the dice and got a 5. He moved 5 spaces, landing on a square with a picture of a monster with 1,000,000 eyes. He decided to pick up a card that said with said monster on it. Picking up the card, he read, "Defeat this beast, or you will become its midnight feast." "What's that supposed to mean?" asked Amy. All of a sudden, the box glowed and rose into the air. A shot of green lightning hit an old black bag, and out of it appeared a monster with 1,000,000 eyes, covered from head to toe in orange fur, and with teeth as sharp as knives. Something else came out of the game, with a sword. Now Jude understood he had to fight the ferocious beast. "Amy," he said in a heroic voice, "stand back." Amy, who felt faint, stood back. The beast came hurtling towards them. Darting out of the way, Jude thought that the beast was fast. In fact, it was going so fast, Jude wasn't able to stab it. How was he going to kill a beast that he could not stab? Another really great story. I love getting them through and being able to read them and share some of them with you. So hopefully next week we'll get some more writing in so I can share that on the next update. Now, before I go, I just wanted to draw everyone's attention to a video that came out this week from Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Jenkins that's challenged you guys to draw a poster to thank the NHS and other key workers during this time. Now, when you've created your poster, all you need to do is send it to me and I will forward it on to Mr. Parsons, who is going to merge them all together into one really long video. That's all I have to say today. Hopefully I get to hear from more of you next week, and I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully speaking to as many of you as possible on Wednesday. Hopefully within the space of the next week I'll also be able to get a haircut, because unfortunately I believe I'm starting to look a bit like the cartoon character from when I was younger, Jimmy Neutron. And if you don't know who he is, here's a picture of him here. I think the only real difference is the beard. So, I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next update.